All right, folks, our final game of Week 3 is 11th-ranked Tennessee in Gainesville playing the Gators in Florida at the Swamp at 7 p.m. Now, this game, I personally am really excited about. It's a big SEC East matchup. Another rematch of a game that was a nail-biter last year. Probably shouldn't have been, given the offense Tennessee had, but nonetheless, it was. Tennessee scraped by 38 to 33. Now, Tennessee, they look rough so far. They didn't look great in Week 1. And then Week 2, they played against Austin Peay, and they went into halftime up by 7. Score was 13-6. Eventually, they put it together and ended up winning 30-13, but still not good. They gave up 339 yards to a team who, honestly, they should have given up probably like 252. Because who even is Austin Peay, right? Now, Tennessee's offense, Josh Heupel.
They're the team that gave a lot of teams a run in the March Madness tournament, but that's besides the point.
Joey, this is football.
I was about to say the same thing, a different sport, but
I'm just saying I know the team.
Nonetheless, defense looks better, but Florida may test the secondary. The question for Florida obviously becomes, did they fix it? They've looked really rough so far. They started the season in Salt Lake City where they lost to Utah, and mind you, to Utah's backup quarterback. So the question becomes, did Florida fix it against McNeese State, or does Tennessee come in and do what they did last year, and that is just play offense to the best of their ability and hope that they hang on without a defense? Tennessee is FPI has Tennessee by 54%. The spread has Tennessee at 6.5. This is a battle of ugly orange and ugly blue. Joey, you got the first pick. Who you got?
I think they're both ugly. It's in the Swamp, man, and I really have to be honest here. Tennessee did struggle a little bit during Virginia, during that beginning portion. Their offense just couldn't get it together. There were a lot of overthrows. There were a lot of drops. So there's concern there. Tennessee also not very commonly having a defense. Hence why they lost a few games last season against South Carolina specifically. And then there's Florida. I don't think there's much to say. Florida is just a big question mark. It shouldn't even be a Gator as their mascot. It should be just a question mark because I don't know what's happening there, man. It's like they're good, but they're bad, and they have it figured out, but they don't. And, so both teams are just confusing, and one's 11th somehow. Really, it's hard to say, but it's in the Swamp. I have to do this out of respect for myself and the color orange. I have to go for Florida. I'm going to go ahead and pick Florida in the Swamp for the upset. I don't think it's actually going to happen, but I have to pick it. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say Gators by you know what? I'll say by, like, a field goal to a point. I think that Tennessee can't hold up on defense, but I don't think Florida can hold up on defense either. That's going to be the common issue in this game.
So it sounds like you're going to see this game a lot more like Alabama-Tennessee last year, right? No secondary, no really big defensive line, just constant air raid. Let me tell you something, though. To me, it feels like Tennessee has not lived up to the hype so far. I mean, they came out of SEC media days and out of fall camp like they were just going to be the team to beat in the SEC East, and they have looked terrible against teams like Austin Peay and Virginia. They should have put up 60 against both of those teams. Joe Milton, he's already been disappointing. Florida, though, they've already taken a loss, like you said, to a resilient Utah team. So, right now, Florida really has nothing to lose. The Swamp is one of the hardest places to play in college football. I would say that, like you said, though, Florida's weak point, definitely their defense. But Graham Mertz, he can throw the ball. And if Tennessee's secondary, if they didn't fix that from last year, they're going to have some issues because Florida does, if they have one thing that's not confusing, they have a quarterback who has an arm and they have receivers who can catch. I was talking to one of my friends who's a Tennessee fan before the season even started, and he said, if Joe Milton can be even just nearly as good as Hendon Hooker, I think we'll be okay. Well, guess what? They're not. this is not going to be close. Florida's going to win this one by 17. Florida is going to win this game. I got Florida to win this game. I got Florida to way cover, and I think the spread in the FPI are saying it's going to be close, and I got Florida by 17.
So real quick, before we get to Isaac's pick, Hendon Hooker and Joe Milton, they're actually two different quarterbacks. A lot of people say, Joe Milton can run it. No, he can't. He's a standard pocket passer. Yes, he can run, but he's not going to. He's got a cannon. But does he have an accurate cannon? No, he's like DJ Uiagalelei. He's got this extravagant arm, but he just can't hit the targets when it matters. And then on the Florida side, you got Trevor Etienne. Not Travis Etienne, Trevor Etienne. That's going to be a target to look out for. That's another reason why I got Florida. But go ahead, Isaac.
So you guys made it hard, then you made it easy. Because I forgot that Florida had Trevor Etienne for just a moment. So here's the thing. Tennessee, Mason mentioned that Tennessee came out of SEC Media Day and were like, hey, we're the guys. But what's new? I mean, Tennessee thinks their orange is the best thing since sliced bread, and they take down goalposts and put it in the river. Listen, and by the way, we're all happy you beat Bama. Good luck next time. Okay, all that said, it's going to be a really good game. The Swamp is a tough place to play. As long as no shoes are thrown, this one will be competitive. This is tough because Joe Milton, like we've said, did not look great so far. Florida is just up in the air. It's Napier's second year in the SEC. Hasn't quite figured it out yet. He's kind of just flirting with the line. This one is a really, really tough one. Man, it really could go either way. And I asked the guys earlier, I said, can it be a double loss, please? I don't want either of these guys to win. But I have to pick somebody. And I'm going to go with the Gators by a field goal. I don't think Florida covers, but I think Florida will hang on in the Swamp. It's a Saturday night game. It's a 7 o'clock kickoff. If this was a 3 p.m. or noon game, I wouldn't feel the same way. But it's a 7 p.m. game in the Swamp. This game is going to be really, really good. I think Florida hangs on simply because of the question marks that Tennessee has on defense. I'm not super confident, but I think the Gators get it done. That's a TBD triple pick. Mason, take us out.
Ladies and gentlemen, this just in. This is the first TBD triple pick upset.
I actually don't know that it is, but it
I think it is.
Might be.
I don't think we've ever picked an upset all three. At least
Maybe
not 3 of us. Maybe 2 of us, but I don't think all 3 of us have picked an upset.
And I'll say this. I had planned to pick Florida before we even started. So, I mean, and I can prove it because it's on my iPad right here. So Joey stole my pick, and I was like, there's no way he just picked Florida. And then we all picked Florida. So there it is. I mean, I hope Florida wins, because especially being in the East as a Georgia fan.